Deep beneath the waves, in a kingdom of shimmering coral and swirling currents, lived a mermaid named Saraphina. She was the youngest daughter of the Sea King, with hair like spun seaweed and eyes the color of the deep ocean. But unlike her sisters, Seraphina's heart wasn't in the sea. It longed for the world above, the world of humans. She collected their lost treasures forks. She called dinglehoppers pipes. She named snarfblats and dreamed of walking on sun-drenched shores. Her most prized possession was a marble statue of a handsome young man salvaged from a sunken ship. She would spend hours gazing at it, imagining the life he lived. Her grandmother would tell her stories of the surface world, of the sun, the moon, and the strange two-legged creatures who called it home. When you turn 15, she promised, you will be allowed to swim to the surface and see it all for yourself. Seraphina counted the days. Her heart filled with a mixture of excitement and nervous anticipation. The human world was a mystery, a puzzle she was desperate to solve. Finally, her 15th birthday arrived. With a flick of her powerful tail, Seraphina surged upwards, breaking through the waves into the cool night air. The world above was more breathtaking than she had ever imagined. The sky was a vast, dark canvas sprinkled with a million glittering stars. And there, floating on the water, was a magnificent ship, alive with music and laughter. Lanterns cast a warm, golden glow across the deck, where people were dancing. And then she saw him. Leaning against the railing, his dark hair ruffled by the sea breeze, was a prince. It was the same face as her beloved statue, but here he was real, alive, and even more handsome. His name, she learned from the sailors' cheers, was Eric. Seraphina was instantly captivated. She watched, hidden by the waves, as he celebrated his birthday, his laughter carrying across the water like a melody. She had never felt anything so intensely in her life. This was it. This was the world she belonged in. But the calm sea was deceptive. A sudden violent storm descended upon the ship. The sky turned black, lightning tore across the clouds, and monstrous waves rose up, tossing the vessel like a toy. Panic erupted. The ship's mast cracked and splintered, and in the chaos, Prince Eric was thrown overboard into the churning, icy water. Without a second thought, Seraphina dove into the maelstrom. She fought against the powerful currents, her eyes scanning the dark water for any sign of the prince. She found him sinking into the depths, unconscious. With all her strength, she pulled him to the surface and swam for hours, holding his head above the water, refusing to let the sea claim him. As dawn broke, she managed to drag him onto a sandy beach near a temple. She kissed his forehead, a silent, desperate goodbye, just as a group of young women from the temple came out and found him. Seraphina slipped back into the water, her heart aching. She had saved him, but he would never know it was her. Back in her father's kingdom, Seraphina was consumed by sorrow. The silent world of the sea now felt like a prison. The memory of Eric's face, the brief touch of his skin, haunted her. She knew she couldn't live without him. She had to become human. There was only one being in the entire ocean with the power to grant such a wish. The sea witch. Her grandmother had warned her of the witch, a fearsome creature who lived in a dark, terrifying grotto, guarded by polyps and fortunate souls who had made deals with her. But Saraphina's desperation outweighed her fear. She journeyed to the grotto, her heart pounding with every flick of her tail. The sea witch, with her menacing tentacles and chilling smile, was waiting. "I know what you want," the witch hissed, her voice like grinding stones. "You want to trade your tail for a pair of clumsy legs, all for a human prince who doesn't even know you exist." She offered Saraphina a potion. "It will give you legs, but the transformation will feel like a sharp sword is passing through you, and every step you take will feel like you're walking on knives." The price was steep, but the witch wasn't finished. "And in exchange for my help," she continued, "you will give me your most precious possession, your voice." She would cut out Saraphina's tongue, leaving her mute, and there was a condition. "You have 3 days. If you can make the prince fall in love with you and receive true love's kiss by the 3rd sunset, you will remain human and gain an immortal soul. If you fail, you will dissolve into sea foam." Saraphina hesitated for only a moment. A life without Eric was no life at all. She nodded her agreement. The witch handed her the potion and, with a cruel smile, took her beautiful voice. The pain was excruciating, but Saraphina swam to the surface, clutched the potion, and made her way to the shore beneath Eric's castle. She drank the vile liquid, and a searing agony shot through her. She felt her tail splitting in two, transforming into legs. The pain was so intense that she blacked out. She awoke on the sand to the gentle touch of a hand. It was Prince Eric. He had found her a beautiful, silent girl washed up on his shore. He was intrigued by her expressive eyes, which seemed to hold a world of stories she couldn't tell. He took her back to his castle, where she was given beautiful clothes and treated with kindness. Walking was agony, just as the witch had promised, but Saraphina hid her pain behind a graceful smile. She danced for him, each step a torment, but her movements were so light and lovely that he was mesmerized. Eric grew incredibly fond of her. He loved her gentle nature and her captivating presence. He called her his little foundling and took her everywhere. They sailed together. He told her stories of his kingdom, and she listened, her heart full of love she could not express. He even confessed that he was haunted by the memory of a girl with a beautiful singing voice who had saved him from the storm. Seraphina's heart soared and sank at the same time. He remembered a voice, the very thing she had sacrificed. How could she ever tell him it was her? Time was running out. On the second day, Eric's parents announced that he was to marry a neighboring princess. Eric protested, declaring he could only love the girl who saved him. But when the princess arrived, she was the very same woman from the temple who had found him on the beach. And worse. She seemed to have a beautiful singing voice. The sea witch had given Seraphina's voice to this impostor to trick the prince. Believing he had finally found his savior, Eric fell under the spell and agreed to the marriage. Seraphina's world shattered. The wedding was to take place on a ship the very next day, the third and final day. Her heart broke into a million pieces. As the sun began to set on her last day as a human, her sisters rose from the waves, their beautiful long hair cut short. They had traded their hair to the sea witch for one last chance to save her. They gave her an enchanted dagger. Plunge this into the prince's heart before the sun rises, they cried. Let his blood touch your feet, and they will merge back into a fishtail. You can return to us. Saraphina took the dagger and snuck into the cabin where Eric and his new bride were sleeping. She looked at the prince she loved so dearly. He murmured her name in his sleep. She saw the kindness in his face, the man she had risked everything for. She couldn't do it. Her love for him was too pure, too selfless. She threw the dagger into the sea, and as the first ray of sunlight touched the sky, she threw herself into the waves, ready to dissolve into foam. But she didn't disappear. Instead, she felt herself rising, her body becoming light and ethereal. She found herself surrounded by beautiful, floating beings. "Who are you?" she asked, surprised to find she had her voice back. "We are the daughters of the air," they explained. "You, little mermaid, have strived with all your heart for a human soul. Your selfless love, your willingness to suffer rather than harm the one you loved, has earned you a chance to gain one of your own. By doing good deeds for 300 years, you will earn an immortal soul and rise to the kingdom of heaven." From the sky, Saraphina looked down and saw Prince Eric searching for her on the ship, his heart finally realizing the truth of her sacrifice. She blew a kiss to his bride, a silent thank you, and then turned her eyes to the sun. Her journey was not over. It was just beginning. It was a longer path than she had ever imagined, but she would walk it not on painful legs, but on the wings of her own. Goodness, her heart filled with a love that transcended both the sea and the land. Thanks for watching our story today. If you enjoyed this journey under the sea, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more magical tales. See you next time.